The Book of Exodus teacheth us that witchcraft and wizardry are abominations athwart God. But what if there was a skull, sacred deep by the mountain strongholds of the papist Jacobites, where a coven of satanical Tartars corrupted Christian children with knowledge of these dark arts? Wonder not, gentlefolk, for the existence of such a profane frontistery is beyond dispute. I am the Witchfinder General of the colony of Massachusetts Bay. I have of late received a most rare book from the old country, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, an investigation of this invisible wizarding world by one JK Rowling, a most godly man. Gather and surmise. We are told that this Harold Potter, a small lad raised in a godly home, whose tranquil country life is violently disrupted by a child snatcher, to wit, a conjurer with the power of flight and pyromancy, who tempts the lad into entering into the service of Satan. At first, the devil's gifts are freely given. Potter is given wealth, fame, and a maid and servant to attend to his every need. The children's captors take him by diverse means of unlawful conjuration and enchantment to the axis mundi of their diabolism, the skull of witchcraft and wizardry within the accursed castle of Hogwarts, itself a name fit for a familiar. There is no doubt that the signature of the Prince of Darkness is in these books, for it... Curious. It seems another Witchfinder hath said the same before me.
There is no doubt that the signature of the Prince of Darkness is clearly within these books. Like you start with a somewhat innocent curiosity, or not really innocent at this point, but then you go and you dive in to Harry Potter. Like he says, young children will be drawn into magic, and from there it's a simple step to Satanism and to the devil.
Drunk with power, Potter's son becomes consumed in his obsession to acquire the star-eyed Philosopher's Stone, under the guise that he will prevent its use by an even darker and more wicked wizard than he. But this is folly. Remember, regarding the dark side, there is the dark side, and there is the dark side. There be not shades of grey. There are those who like to say, oh well, Harry Potter be a good pagan witch. No! Witchcraft is witchcraft. There is not a good kind and a bad kind. That appears to also be something that another Witchfinder hath already said.
Remember, when it comes to the dark side, there's the dark side and there's the dark side. There's not shades. Like, well, Harry Potter's a good pagan witch. No, witchcraft is witchcraft. There ain't a good kind and a bad kind. I know the kids shouldn't be reading the Harry Potter books. I know it. I'm sorry.
You said it. You did.
I said I wouldn't be smug about this.
Now, regarding the Philosopher's Stone, let me be clear in one particular. The art of alchemy is not in itself diabolical. Our very own Armes Christianus, John Winthrop Jr., a most godly New Englander, hath devised wondrous medicines through his study of the great work. His concoction of the raw draught, e'en now draws many multitudes of sick and needy folk to his laboratory in New London, in the colony of Connecticut. Folk that might otherwise be drawn to seek relief in magical remedies that may heal the body, but poison the soul. Yea, we count ourselves blessed in New England to have such a one as Winthrop, whose genius and faculty for experimental philosophy was advanced in his travels abroad by his acquaintance with so many learned virtuosi. He most generously and charitably gives these medicines away upon all occasions, insomuch that whenever he comes, still the diseased flock around him, as if the healing angel of Bethesda had come to the place. The art of alchemy is one of the means that God gives us to ameliorate our own condition. Yea, e'en here in the howling wilderness of Massachusetts Bay, we hath dug deep i' the earth in our mines in the land of the savage Nipmuc, and found many curious minerals, whose natures, when combined into diverse forms, may yield many helpful and curious substances. But this noble art may well be perverted toward the devil's ends. Aye, as is plainly seen in Rowling's book, wherein it is revealed that the notorious conjurer John Dee did survive his reported death, and now superintends the spiritual corruption of the children at Hogwarts. Potter's deranged quest for the stone leads him to a satanical forest of diverse monstrous creatures, where he and his coven must locate great quantities of the seed of manhood for use in their horrible spells.
Hagrid, What is that?
What we're here for.
As hath been duly proved by many eminent witchfinders, the servants of Satan doth grom Christian children, for the nefarious end of satisfying their own lust. But why, I wonder, do these witches and wizards lustfully prey on 11-year-old children? Simply wait a year before marrying them, as I did with my second wife. In any case, these children are much safer under the guiding hand of Christian instruction.
Let me say something about Harry Potter. Warlocks are enemies of God. And I don't care what kind of hero they are. They're an enemy of God. And had it been in the Old Testament, Harry Potter would have been put to death.
At length, Potter's sage spells laid him to the very belly of hell, where he is at last confronted with the rotten frauds of his corruption, and mating with the tough face to dissever himself. Instead of dispelling Satan with a sincere faith in God, he attempts to use the devil's tool of magic to fight the devil, a most flawless action. And though the Prince of Darkness feigns defeat, he is certain to soon return. Later, John Day attempts to make sense of this contradiction.
Do you know why Professor Quirrell couldn't bear to have you touch him? It was because of your mother. She sacrificed herself for you, and that kind of act leaves a mark. This kind of mark lives in your very skin.
Smallpox?
Love, Harry. Love.
That is a lie. There is but one spiritual love, the grace of God, and God is nowhere to be found there. No, God presents challenges to the faithful. Harold Potter is blessed with renown and admiration, unearned wealth beyond his wildest dreams, sycophants to hang upon his every word. He is at once a master of the dark arts. He is the best lad to fly a broom that ever was. He is singled out for special instruction by John Day himself. To wit, he is e'en considered a diabolical chosen one, a veritable antichrist, around which revolves the globe entire. Imagine if an all generation of children were raised upon such a story. How cursed with the affliction and Narcissus would they be? Thus endeth the revelations of JK Rowling, a most godly man of the old country. And as always, thou art a wretched sinner. Witchfinder General, I need your help.